How do we see who's in here?
Are live. We're gonna ask them. Are you on Facebook? Do you have a Facebook page?
I don't. Can you believe I got locked out of my Facebook? I have to go through a whole thing with customer service.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm trying to think of the easiest way to share. I don't know how to share. We are live on Instagram. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are live. This is day 20 something of the 30 days of I Owe Me challenge. Hey, hey, hey. Yes, I don't know if you know how to share it from Instagram. I don't know how to share from Instagram.
Oh, because it does all of them at the same time, right?
Correct.
So that
Maybe
should.
you can share I don't know. You can share the YouTube. It's all Blowing Bubbles podcasts
Yeah.
On YouTube. Hey everybody, we are here. We are live, and I have connected with the fitness guru, Sade, Coach Sade. Oh my goodness! If you are in here, let me know you are here. I want to make sure all my devices are synced and in tune. Instagram is let me see. This is going to be very informal, Sade. I wasn't sure if you were going to work out during the do some workout demonstration. I was not sure how this was going to go. I pretty much let everybody do whatever their thing was.
Vibe out.
Man, and it has turned out really good that way. It gave people ease. They didn't feel like they had to conform to something. I'm like, however you teach, whatever your thing is, do that.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, I'm not, because that's why I have you. I'm not the expert in that.
Right.
I am not. Let me see. I got to pull up my Instagram now. I have YouTube. I have Facebook going. So I've got a bunch of different devices so that I can.
So everybody can join from what's most convenient.
Yeah, they can, but I can see it from that side of it too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd log into my profile from all those other things. Yeah. Okay. What's up, Mr. Dawkins? I need to learn how to get motivated to work out. Okay, see, Instagram, first of all, let me tell you, Instagram has consistently been my most active chat.
Okay, good, good.
So I will say that. All right, Mr. Dawkins, you need to learn how to get motivated to work out. So one thing I'll tell you, Sade, I haven't done is really done a thorough introduction of any of my guests. I have been letting everybody introduce themselves because I don't want to mess up any of the things.
Right.
Like you trained the WNBA. I mean, I've been and had you.
Okay.
So I mean, maybe that's a call things that are not as though they were. So maybe that might end up happening.
Yeah.
I do have a connection to the league, so I mean, maybe.
Right. Right.
They might be watching.
Yes.
But Coach Sade, tell the people, hey, if you're on here, because I can see numbers, but I can't see who's on here. Let me know you're in. You are here. Just say hey, something. Do the wave symbol, something. Okay, please and thank you. If you are on Facebook, be so kind as to give me a share so that this goes out to all of your people too. Okay, we want everybody to get this education in health and wellness. This whole challenge has been about health, wealth, and relationships. Imaru, oh my good, listen, oh my gosh, I grew up with him. I haven't seen him.
Oh, that's amazing.
At least 35 years.
Hey, hey.
Oh Thank you, thank you, thank you, King, for tuning in. This is the 30 Days of I Owe Me challenge. It is the last week, and we are elevating everybody in health, wealth, and relationships. And I have my girl, my trainer. She scared me when I was in the line at Walmart, and I looked up and she was in front of me, y'all. I'm like, sitting in my cart, like, what's it up? I didn't know I was gonna run in there. Oh my God. You know somebody can motivate you when you got that kind of like fear, like, oh my gosh, I want to do right. But she has a beautiful, gentle spirit. And I have run from the possibility of working with any trainer all my life. And it's something special about this young lady. So I want to introduce y'all. We are working on our health tonight to Coach Sade.
Hello.
Hey, Queen. How are you?
I am good. I'm good.
Oh my goodness. Now, please do a proper introduction of yourself and tell the people your credentials. Like, what do you do? Because you have a
Yes.
really impressive, like, ball of skills in this space.
Yes, thank you. So I am a NASM certified personal trainer. And I also have a specialty in behavior change, which that kind of means I can dig a little bit more into habits outside of the gym, digging into why we won't do what we know we need to do, how we can lock in mentally first, which makes it easier to get the physical aspect of your habits in line. And then I also recently added group fitness instruction to my abilities. So, coaching classes at Orange Theory, as well as doing online coaching for a lot of my private clients that I have as well.
Nice, nice. And like old Dawkins said, he said he needed to get motivated to work out. Can you talk about that, the psychology behind the fitness journey, like why we don't do what we know we should do?
Right. Speaking more to like the motivation of getting started, I always say we need to put legitimate plans in action. I think with starting off and with a lot of things in our habits, like let's say you've already started off at the gym, but you don't understand why you can't lock into the kitchen. A lot of what we want to do is floating in our minds in the universe. We need to put dates on it. We need to say on this date at this time, I'm going to the gym. We need to know what we're doing. That is a huge obstacle when it comes to starting with the gym, because if we don't even have a plan before we walked in, that's why so many of us walk in feeling confused. We feel like everyone's looking at us like we don't know what we're doing, because we know we don't know what we're doing, because we didn't get, walk in with our plan. So I say, just like anything else that's more important to you, like if you have an interview for a new job, you might be nervous about it, but you don't lack the motivation to go to the point where you won't go. You have a date, you have your reason why, you have what time, you know what you need to wear. So you go and you get it done. And we just need to put that structure and that planning to it as that first step.
Yes, especially walking into a bigger gym with all the equipment. Like I have scanned myself in and stood by the desk.
Yeah. I think most people's thing is like scan in, go straight to the treadmill. It's like I'm scared of the equipment.
I am guilty of that, but it's like I just look like, oh my gosh, where do I go first? I did get into a routine where I enjoy going to the sauna first.
Yeah.
And just loosening up and then stretching and then doing cardio and then doing lifting. Yeah. Now, talking more about the psychology of a fitness journey, I heard a buddy of mine, David Shan, say, the heaviest weight in the gym is the front door. I said, oh my God.
Yeah.
And that might went over somebody's head, but the heaviest weight in the gym is the front door, because you don't go.
Exactly.
You don't go. I'm telling you, and the one over by, in our area, man, it's so close to so many things. And
yeah, it kind of sets us up.
Yeah.
I think
Even
that's a really big issue. Like, as a whole, right now, everything around us is setting us up to fail. Everything around us is trying to attack our health. Like, there's
yeah,
a big push on social media right now for figuring out how to make the things that you like at home. So, like, I follow a couple people who do recipes for, like, okay, you really like Chick-fil-A sandwiches, here's how you can make a healthy version at home. You really like crumble cookies, here's a protein crumble cookie you can make from home. And so after this big push for making things at home, why was there a recent McDonald's commercial that came out and it's like showing the breakfast biscuits and it was like, because you know it doesn't taste the same at home. I'm like, y'all are coming for the health community. Y'all are, everything is going to try to convince you not to do it, which I feel like is further proof that you need to do it. Like,
listen, that's funny. I didn't see that commercial. However, maybe a week ago, for the first time in I don't know how many years, probably 10 years, I got a breakfast biscuit from McDonald's. And when I say I was sick on my stomach for 2 days.
right? Once you walk away from that stuff, your body will react very, like,
Yeah.
you won't want
Yeah.
it
I
anymore.
already have a delicate system. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what are some of the things that a person can do to break out of that mental rut with their fitness journey?
Biggest mistake I see a lot of people making, especially if they're doing it on their own, like they don't have some sort of trainer or coach, which you don't, if if you can't afford that, the biggest thing I'm seeing is that people try to change the whole 360, the whole thing at one time. And I understand it because it's like, once you have finally decided, I want to change something, like you finally hit that point where you're tired of living the way you're living, you're tired of feeling that way in your body and about your body. Of course, you want to kind of jump right into it and get the whole thing done. But the issue with that is, imagine if you went to your job the first day and they gave you all your responsibilities on day one. They're setting you up to fail. You don't have time to process and learn it. So I always tell people, the best way to get yourself out of that rut, stop looking at fitness as this enormous list of things that you need to change, because we're adults. So we all have an enormous list of things we need to do already. Pick one thing that you know you can commit to right now. Even if that one thing is, I can only commit to taking a walk once a week, commit to that walk once a week. Because what's going to happen, like, or let's say it's, I'm going to drink one more cup of water per day. What's going to happen is, after about a week or two, you're going to find that you naturally pick up that extra cup of water a day, which means you're not diverting brain power to doing it. It's habit now, which means that brain space has been freed up for you to now pick up the next thing. Versus if I'm trying to change 7 habits at one time, when it's now the third day that I've only done one of those things, I feel like a failure. Versus if it's 2 weeks of, I hit this 1,000 step count. That's it. Now you're taking it into bite-sized pieces, and it also taps into that mental reward system, like that natural system that we have in our brain, where our brain is looking for proof that we can do something. So now when the next step comes up, I already have this proof that I've been taking that walk 1 time a week. So now when I tell myself, now I'm going to start walking 2 times a week, I believe myself because I already followed through when I was doing it the 1 time a week. So now this feels easier. And now the next thing feels easier. And it's okay to take those baby steps and build. And it's scientifically proven to be more effective than to say, I'm just going to wake up and be a new person tomorrow,
I love that.
Yeah.
And that reminds me of, they say it takes, some people say 21, some people say 30 days to form a new habit. Well, that's kind of where I am with this 30-day challenge.
Right.
I've been saying it all this time that for me, my challenge was to show up every day for 30 days. I'm calling myself a content creator. I've got the on the platform, all the platforms to be a content creator, but I'm not consistently creating the content. So for the last week, maybe. So I've been doing this. This is this is week 4, but now I added TikTok, and for at least the last week, I've been posting consistently. I'm only up to twice a day. I mean,
but still.
every day on TikTok. So it, like you said, I took that one thing, just showing up here every night, and now I'm able to introduce another habit. So I'm getting the TikTok. Okay, Imaru said I have a problem with going to the gym, or I'll go and the pain starts, then I stop going. I want to strengthen my core. Great point. So what do you say to someone, and let me interject this. Thank you so much, Imaru and Mr. Dawkins, for your comments and any questions that you have. This is a free forum. You are more than welcome, even open and requested to interact. Hey, Nas, she says she has the same problem. We want you to interact with Coach Sade. So what do you say to, can you see his question on the screen?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what would you say to someone? I do also live with chronic pain, and that's one of my challenges. Who needs to, he needs to work out. We know we need to work out, but how do you get past that?
So I would say, if we first of all understand that, like, a lot of us think like, oh, this is just the way I am. You don't have to live like this. Mm-hmm. I would highly recommend, even if you know that you can only afford that person for 1 month, I would highly recommend getting a trainer. Because 9 times out of 10, most of us think that our pain, like, I will have people who will come to me and say, I get pain when I do squats, so I can't do squats, right? Mm-hmm. Reality is, we sit down on that toilet, that couch, we're doing a squat every
day. Yeah.
So we're made as humans to be able to do squats. What actually is causing that pain is somewhere in your natural life. Of course, if there's not like any sort of injuries or other circumstances, when we're dealing with those chronic pains, somewhere else in life, there's a muscle imbalance. And so every time we do a squat, like, let's say your muscle imbalance is that your glutes just don't activate themselves, or they're very weak. So now every time you stand up from the toilet, or you stand up from, whatever squat position, because your glutes aren't working, your quads are potentially taking over, or your like something else is trying to do the job of the glute. And so now the knees are hurting.
Okay.
So yeah. And I say that, I gave that example because that is the one I run into the most. So 9 times out of 10, knee pain is coming either from a glute weakness or from something further down on the ankle not operating the way it's supposed to. So most of these pains come from just something was weak, or something was overactive and it was never addressed. And so now we're going years and years where our body is just naturally overcompensating, because that's its job. It knows you're going to squat every day anyway, even if it's going to be improper. So it has to find a way to get you up and down. Mm-hmm. So even if you can't, there are a lot of gyms like that I've worked at, that even if you can't afford working with a trainer, they do assessments for as low as $10, or they'll do free assessments. I do virtual assessments as well, where I can, even if you can't afford to continue to work with me, I can at least get you through the 6 basic movement patterns right in front of my eyes. And I can tell you, hey, this, and this is weak. So even if you can't afford to keep moving with a trainer, now you have in mind this, and this is weak. So when I go into the gym, I'm going to look for machines that target those things that she told me are weak. So definitely you want to get someone else involved who can look at the way your body's moving and can pinpoint where that pain is more than likely coming from.
Nice. I have often, and Imaru mentioned wanting to strengthen his core. One of the things that I have done, because I have all kind of joint challenges, is laying on my back and doing like leg raises and things like that. What types of non-equipment based exercises do you recommend for someone dealing with chronic pain?
Well, depending on where the pain is coming from, for sure. So like for your knees, without me being able to see how you move, so just kind of going off my best guess of what I see is usually the problem when you have knee pain, I would say we probably want to do glute bridges, which are also going to help out with your core. That's something I know I can't do a full demo, but if you sort of write that one down, that one's like one of the easier ones that if we Google it, it will come up and you won't get all kind of crazy. Like, is this what you meant? Like, that's one of our simpler ones. So I think a glute bridge is a great place to start because it's going to strengthen backside of the body so that it can help take over for the knees as well as the core. Other things for knee pain, I would do step ups on a very, very light or low box rather than like you've seen people do step ups in like the super high boxes in the gym, even if that means you just have like a step stool. I have a client right now, we just do them on a step stool and we just focus on applying as much pressure through your heel as possible when you step up, and that'll start strengthening that knee as well.
Nice. Now, do you do any type of stretch therapy?
Not stretch therapy per se, but I focus a lot on mobility with my clients because every single workout, whether it's one of my in-person clients or one of my online clients, every workout always starts with a full body mobilization. So focused on, for some muscles, once I figure out you and your body and I know what's tight and what's pulling, I'll show you how to stretch that specifically. Once I know what's not mobile, we'll open up. Usually it's the hips I have to open up for everyone. Usually then it's like the shoulders are a little stiff as well. So we focus more on mobilizing.
Nice. I actually have an appointment this week with one of the stretch therapy places in town. But even when I was in my best physical condition as an athlete, I was always very muscular, but I sucked at stretching.
Yeah.
So my muscles, we have good muscle memory. My muscles are still very tight.
Yeah.
What would you recommend a person who's like me do to start out, just loosening up?
Yeah, I would say so. Right now, most of us, especially with the move to like working from home, and that has ever since COVID, like I always feel like life is like pre and post COVID now, but ever since COVID, it's been the norm to work from home, kind of no matter what line of business you're in. I think that has drastically adjusted our posture and how much we're moving throughout the day. And then a lot of us are online, especially with using content and things like that. So really the biggest thing is moving more throughout the day. That's another thing that I ask my clients about, kind of going back to that knee pain as well. I ask them, how many hours a day are you sitting? Because we can work out and we can be very muscular, but if I work out for 1 hour in the day, 1 to 2 hours in the day, and I sit for 7 to 8 hours in the day, I'm still sedentary. No matter how hard I go in that gym, I'm still a sedentary person. And so my most painful time in my life was when I was working at a call center. My knees were killing me because I was just sitting there. So I tell people, set an alarm on your phone so that like every 45 minutes to an hour when you're at work, just get up and move a little bit. Sometimes it's not always stiff because we don't know how to stretch. It's stiff because we just sit and we keep ourselves in that same position for very long periods of time. So just get up, like shake it out, twerk a little bit, do something. Just loosen up a little. Whatever you got to do, whatever you got to do, get it moving. I have some clients right now, I make them like every hour on the hour, they have to get up and they have to take a lap around their house. And it can be that simple,
Yeah, that's cool. I'm a real estate broker, so I am in the car all the time. And when I'm not in the car, I'm doing searches on the computer. So I sit a lot. And being in traffic and Atlanta,
I know.
You can like have a 2-mile trip that take an hour here.
Right.
No exaggeration. It doesn't matter what time of day it is. Rush hour is 24/7.
Yeah.
Like whenever Atlanta wants to Atlanta, you're just going to be sitting.
Going to, right?
Yeah. So, I definitely have to have more consciousness of thought to stretching, and just doing something vigorous at least once an hour.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I
Whatever
study.
you've got. Some days it's like all I can do is stand up real quick, and that's okay too. Like
Mhm.
whatever you've got, just move basically.
Yes. Now, what are you recommending for integrating the right meal plan, the healthy eating habits?
One thing that I really like to do that I think more trainers should sort of try out, I like to have my clients. I had a nutrition specialist do it with me one time, and I stole it, and I do it with everyone now. The first week of working with me, we just track your foods. I'm like, don't change anything that you eat just because I'm watching. Don't worry about like, do your thing, because from there I can sort of understand what your taste buds are, what you are inclined to, what you're naturally already very good at, what we need to work on. And so I think a really good starting point for people might be just log your foods. Even you don't even have to get one of the tracking apps if you don't want to. You can like get a notebook and some paper, and just for 1 week write out, this is what I had for breakfast, this is what time I had a snack, this is what I had. Because I think when it's up here, we just keep thinking, I eat pretty good. I feel like
Right.
like, no, I feel like I eat pretty good. But even just seeing it on paper, you can realize, oh, I got off work and I deserved myself into several little treats this week, and I was not keeping track, so I didn't know. So that's where I would say to
I feel
start.
attacked.
Yes, that's where I would start. Like kind of get a good analyzation of what you're already doing and not doing, because a lot of people don't even know what they're already
Yes, I
eating.
did a blog post about 2 months ago, and it was talking about that mindless eating
Yeah,
that we do. Um, One of the ways that I combat that is to just be careful what I have in the house.
right. Because
Um,
now if I want something extra, I have to get up
I have to get up and go, or I
and
have to
spend
pay.
extra
And
money.
listen, I'm tight with that DoorDash. I don't like those fees, the Uber.
Yeah,
I don't like the fees, especially being so close to the places. I'm like, I'm gonna pay them $7 to bring me this thing when it's like 4 minutes away.
right. I'm like, I could have gotten the car. Like, I would
Okay.
have spent less than $7 on gas. Like, but I know like nutrition is very difficult for a lot of people. So definitely, if you guys have like more specific nutrition questions, because the chat has been a little quiet. So
The
let
chat
us
is
know.
quiet. Come on, guys. Give
Workouts, nutrition, like all the things. But while we're on the topic of nutrition, of course.
me. Somebody told me I look younger with my hair pulled back. Thank you. Man, I wish my bones looked younger, man. um, One of the questions that I have, well, not necessarily a question, a comment that I have, and I want somebody to, kind of jump in if you have any questions or comments or anything. Let's engage. One thing that I learned, it's a hack that worked for me. I found that I like the crunch, like potato chips and stuff like that. I substituted that for carrot chips.
Oh, yeah,
At Walmart, they sell their round slices and their crinkle cut. Baby, I will pop those things.
yeah.
It satisfies the crunch. It's the psychology of snacking that
And
it
that's
works in my
that's that's part of why I'm like, find a way to log your foods, because you can find out patterns of things, and you can find out that you like the crunch. And that's the thing too, is like, I do not believe in, for myself or my clients, and like it's worked for me, like I've lost 20 pounds and then I found it and then I lost it again, so like it's worked for me multiple times, where it's like, I'm not going to give up things that I legitimately love. I'm going to find ways for what I love to match what I need and to match my lifestyle. And so I'm big on chips. I love chips so bad. So now I'm like, instead of my regular, like if I were to get like Doritos or something like that, now instead I found a popcorn brand. I think it's called It's got the little, you guys have probably seen it. It's got the little image of like a Buddha sitting on it and he's like smiling. It's called Lesser. I don't know if it's called Lesser Evil or Lesser Eats. Look them both up and see. But so that's like a crunchy popcorn that's cooked in a healthier oil. Then I also learned how to like home make my popcorn on the stovetop. The brand called Quest, they have protein chips, but now it started out, it was just Quest. Now there's a brand called Wild. Like there's so many brands now that have protein chips out there.
Now, what are protein chips?
It's just
some protein,
like a regular potato chip, and they have dupes of like the big flavors that we all love. So they have like a sour cream and onion flavor, a nacho cheese flavor, but instead of a regular bag of chips, will have like 3 grams of protein. Maybe these bags of chips have a lot less fat, and they have 10 to anywhere between like 10 to 15 grams of protein instead of just a chip that's just filling space. It's a chip that's actually helping you out.
Okay. Hey, young vocal. I get a little nervous when I hear protein. I have extreme food allergies.
Okay.
And oftentimes the go-to supplement for protein is a nut.
Yeah.
And I did not make an appointment to die. So
right. So most things, so I've heard that. I don't know where this has come from. I've heard a lot of people who are like, I'll do nuts and I'll do like peanut butter. If you turn over and look at the nutrition label for like a serving size of peanut butter, 7 grams of protein, 15 grams of fat. Nuts are a better source of fat than they are of protein.
Absolutely.
So I would look at, there's really a lot of spaces. I would look at like little products that you use. So like, let's say if you have oatmeal every day, there's a protein version of oatmeal. Or for me now, don't knock it till you try it. I have a lot of people be like, what are you talking about? I got it from a chef that I follow on YouTube. She makes savory oats instead of our typical like cinnamon sweet oats. Okay. So I don't buy a flavored packet. Like I just buy the regular steel cut oats. Yeah. I cook them in bone broth, which bone broth has tons of protein. Then I will just scramble 2 eggs. Let's say like this morning, I had leftover chicken breast from dinner before. I might cut that up and put it in there. And you just season it in a more, almost like you would season some grits in a more savory way. So like you might do salt, pepper, I do smoked paprika, maybe some garlic powder. So now you have savory oats that have got me about 30 to 40 grams of protein without putting meat in it.
Nice. You know, I have only had, to my recollection, oatmeal once in my life.
Really?
And it was because I was snowed in at somebody's house.
And that was the only option. I mean, there's like Greek yogurt. We know about like Greek yogurt. No?
I don't. I'm not saying I don't like oatmeal, but it's just funny to me that now that we're talking about it, that I like, dang, I've only had oatmeal that one time. It was one of those things that I look at and just like frown my face up. I just wouldn't eat it. That time I had nothing else to eat. It was like, we knew this storm was coming and nobody thought to get groceries. Great.
It definitely, I will say with the food side, I think a lot of people get discouraged because like most of us, no matter what age we are, most of us are still just grabbing whatever our mom used to grab. You know what I mean? But it's really just a matter of like, if you're trying to make a lifestyle change, I always tell people budget more time for grocery shopping for the first month. And just now, like if I know I always grab these tortillas when I'm doing taco night, just take the time, grab your tortillas that you normally get, flip it over, look at the nutrition label. Now grab 2 to 3 competing brands and just look at their nutrition labels. Like little changes, because now you would never think to look for protein in a tortilla, but I just found that this one competing brand has 2 more grams than mine, and I got to get it where I can, you know?
Yeah, nice. Now, how do you feel about recommending someone try vegetarianism or veganism for a weight loss purpose?
If it's specifically for weight loss purposes, it's not something I would recommend. Just because the most important macronutrient when it comes to weight loss is your protein versus the most important macronutrient for weight gain is your carbs. So if it's specifically just for that reason, there's no other reason to it. Like, it's not like, health or digestive issues when it comes to digesting your protein, then I wouldn't recommend it in that setting specifically, because it is going to make it a lot harder for you to get the amount of protein that you need in order to see your results as quickly as possible.
Okay. I hope some of you have some questions, man. I am thinking off the top of my head. Last year, so I had I think 2 teeth. I had 2 teeth pulled last summer, right before I went to a podcast conference.
Oh, wow.
And the people who know me in that circle know I'm usually like the life of the party, and everybody was looking at me like, what's wrong? And we went to eat one night, and a buddy of mine is like, and I tried to get a cheeseburger.
When your teeth wasn't working.
and he sat right there, and there was like a big scene made, and he challenged me initially, and then we started challenging everybody in the little circle. We were all going to go meat free for 6 months.
Whoa.
Yeah. I think I made it. So I don't know if my mother is on here or not. I haven't seen her in the chat. I'm going to blame it on her. I did really, really good until that lady pulled up at my house and fried some chicken.
Oh, no.
What was I supposed to do?
That is hilarious.
My brother was in town, so this lady pulled up at my house knowing that I'm not eating meat and fried some chicken. Girl, I ate so much daggone chicken.
I think that's a big thing that I see, not even just in that context, but it would be like a lot of people will see something that like is trending or worked for someone else. Like keto was a big thing for a second. Mm-hmm. Or right now, something that I keep hearing is like intermittent fasting. And I think not to say that like that fitness is not a one size fits all kind of thing. So it's not to say that these things don't work, but I think the big issue is that a lot of people, when you see that and you're like looking for a magic trick and you see that someone else did this particular diet, people are adopting it without any sort of research into the context of how it plays into their health.
Yes.
Because like intermittent fasting
doesn't work for me.
What's a good way to gain weight if you're underweight? Focusing on your carbs, definitely. So like I always see people like when I'm trying to get healthy, I'm doing like the chicken and rice. I'm like, that's going to make you gain. So chicken and rice is good for you. But I'll see the weight loss people, they're like, I got my chicken and rice. I'm like, do you know how much calories is in rice? But
and carbohydrates. Yeah.
Right. So it's like, I would say one thing I found with a lot of my clients who have been underweight, who have gained weight, they're not eating very many meals a day at all. Like it's just not a lot of food there. So I would definitely say right now, try to focus on like getting 3 meals and 2 snacks a day, which is going to sound insane at first, but think of it as just a lot more spread out. So I do breakfast, mid-morning snack, lunch, afternoon snack, dinner, which I do for my weight loss clients too, just to get your metabolism going. But that way you can make sure you're getting in enough meals and just sort of focus on having a good portion of carbs at your meals, good carbs. So not, if we want to gain it in a way that it looks a little bit more muscular rather than it looking more flabbed, So, good carbs.
Good carbs. What are the good carbs?
So like things like our sugars, like our sugary stuff, those are naturally carbs, right? But there's carbs in like fruits, there's carbs in veggies, things like potatoes, our rice, those kinds of things that are like, you can do. I always recommend, like if you do a sweet potato, because we have our carbs that are like fried in sugar. So like our French fries, our choosing the right types of breads. So choosing like white breads that break down a little bit more in the body the way sugar would versus choosing like a whole wheat bread. So just less of like the sugary things and focused more on things like our rice, our potatoes.
So, did I hear correctly? The whole wheat bread does not break down as easily in the body?
It breaks down differently. So like even things like white rice breaks down differently than brown rice in our
Right.
body. So some of these carbs are breaking down in a similar way that sugar is breaking down in our body. And I remember the way I found this out was because I had my little plate and I'm like, I have white rice, and a way more experienced older trainer in our building walks by. He goes, you might as well eat a spoonful of sugar, and walked off. I was like, whoa. So I had to do some digging. But yes. And and I can send it to you so that you can also share it on the platforms where everyone's participating in the challenge. But I found some really good, and they're easy to find on Google as well, some really good diagrams that break up simple versus complex carbs.
Mm-hmm.
And so, just choosing from that side of the list or prioritizing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you have a favorite rice?
I always stick with brown rice, but I have found, and I'll have to share him with you, this health chef that I follow on Instagram has like a protein brand of rice that he's created, and it's in some stores, but I think in our area we'll probably have to order it online because I'm not sure. It's not like, I don't think it's widespread in places like Walmart and Kroger just yet. But yeah, for the most part, I'll go with brown rice.
I haven't heard of a protein rice. I probably 3 or 4 years ago was told when I got my annual physical that I was pre-diabetic. So I limit very much my carb intake.
Yeah.
Yeah, and rice is one of those things. I think jasmine rice is supposed to be really good on the carbohydrate side.
And another big thing too. So like, let's say you just wanted to enjoy yourself and you had a meal that's very like carb loaded. Like, let's say you went out for pizza and ate half the pizza. Taking a brisk walk afterwards starts getting muscle activation going to where now your body can process it differently even then as well. Because once those muscles are getting activated, your body's first place that it goes to when it needs energy is carbohydrates. Carbs are our number one source of energy, which is why even when I have people who are trying to lose weight, I'm like, don't demonize carbs. Yeah. We would just increase our protein, which is naturally going to lower those carbs, but our body still needs carbs. Our body even needs fat, like it still needs fat to protect our organs. So if you just slipped up and had a super carb heavy meal, or maybe you didn't even slip up, like it was planned in advance, you're like, today I'm going to cheat a little bit, I'm going to do my thing. That's definitely something you can do. Take a couple minutes to do like a brisk walk, even if it's just around the house. Get the muscle activation going so that the muscles will start helping process those carbs a little differently.
Mm-hmm. So I just had to search for protein rice. I just wanted to see if I could find one.
It starts with a K, Kaizen or something like that. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's it.
Kaizen. Okay. Yeah. I found that low carb protein rice, gluten free. Okay.
Yes, and I will say his Instagram page is called Shred Happens. That's his at name. I've personally actually used a lot of his recipes in my house. Like, very good person if you're like, I want to eat healthier and I don't know where to go. And he even has like healthy desserts that you could tap into. I have a couple people, because when people are like, what do I eat? I just ship them all my people that I follow on Instagram, because that was the hard part for me too, because it's like I know what I'm supposed to eat. Like, we essentially kind of have a pretty good idea of like what's good for you versus what's bad for you. But it's like coming up with the meals that can be the hard part. We don't know how to get creative in that way.
Yeah.
And so shred
What do you
happens.
tell somebody who is like kind of in a brain fog about getting creative, so it's kind of lending to them not being consistent with healthy meal options? Just follow somebody on social media. What do you
Yeah.
recommend?
So first, for my clients, I do have like a 5 or 6 page Google Doc that I sat and
Wow.
meticulously typed up. That is a part of their package. It's separated into sections. So some things repeat itself because it's separated into sections where whatever you're struggling with, go right to that. So like, let's say you're like, I can't get in enough protein. There's a protein section. I don't know what to make for lunch or dinner. Boom. I have a sweet tooth. Boom. I even have on there like, here's a tip for how you can have margaritas that are healthier. Like, here's how you can health up your margaritas. So I usually send that to them. But then from there, it's like I send you a bunch of pages on Instagram. I send you a bunch of pages on YouTube. I send you a bunch of pages on Pinterest. I tell them like, go type, kind of like make a list of things that you like ingredient wise, not meals. So like, what are your favorite proteins? What are your favorite vegetables? Go on Pinterest. Like, let's say your favorite protein is salmon. Go on Pinterest, salmon recipes. Or from the people that I'm sending you on Instagram, find someone, like search their page for, salmon. We love salmon in this house so bad. I have like 40 ways I can cook it. Like, I'm very diverse with it. But yeah, just picking those sort of ingredients rather than trying to come up with 100 meals. I like picking ingredients that you like, and let's figure out, how can I show the most love to this ingredient? How can I be creative with this ingredient? And then new ingredients will start coming in, because when you play with this one ingredient and you find a new recipe and you go get all the stuff for it, now you find out you like this sauce over here. So that it keeps playing off of itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely, like, even kind of taking it further from like, oh, follow people on Instagram. I tell people, this might sound weird, but in our social media focused society today, if there's any change you want to make in your life, if it's like, I want to go to the gym more, or I want to own a business, or I want to love myself more, go find people, bonus points if they look like you. Go find people on socials that are doing those things, not to idolize them, not to compare yourself to them, but it has helped me mentally in the sense that every time I'm mindlessly scrolling, I can't skip the gym because I'm seeing all these people.
Yeah.
I'm constantly being reminded of the gym every time I just want to mindlessly scroll. So having those recipes on there, and then, people who are doing fitness things, someone who lost weight, and you're trying to lose weight, all of that good stuff, it helps to keep seeing them over and over.
Yes. Now, I don't know what the word is. Do you support doing juice cleanses or detoxes to kickstart a fitness journey?
I do not. I don't. I won't say it doesn't work. I've seen people say that it works for them. But I'm a full-blown supporter of, off the gate, let's do sustainable things. Because I don't want you thinking every time you want to lose a couple more pounds that you should do another cleanse. But it's also like, if we're just going to do a cleanse, that means there's something that shouldn't be it. That means there's something we're cleaning out. All we did was drink juice and clean it out. We didn't go find what was making us feel that way. Like, the real cleanse is getting it out of your diet if it's not making sense to what you want to do, or the real cleanse is changing the habit. So definitely anti-juice cleanse.
I agree. That's really like a form of bulimia.
I think it really starts bordering into creating some eating
walking a
disorders.
line, because there's some people who use it like, oh, I got this wedding coming up.
Yeah.
Let me do this purge. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the only time personally within my clients, in my own life, the only time I support any sort of fasting is when it's religious, like when it's just focused on your spiritual.
Mhm.
Then I'm like, okay, let's work around that. We're going to reduce the intensity of your workout since you're not fueling as much, whatever we need to do.
Now you just touched on something that sparked a thought. How do you see, what kind of connection do you see between the one's fitness journey and their spiritual walk?
For me, it it shifted my perspective to understand what it takes for me to commit to my religion, like it's to my religion. So I always say that there's so many, like, especially as I keep getting more and more into fitness, I'm finding so many connections between, for me personally, being a follower of Christ and being in the fitness journey. It's like, if I want to lose weight, there are some things I'm going to have to say no to, or gain weight, or, whatever aesthetic thing or physical thing you're trying to do to your body. There are things that I'm going to have to say no to. They're going to be readily available to me. There's no reason other than, like, no one's going to force me to say no, but it's the same thing with my journey with Christ. He said, if I'm to follow him, I have to take up my cross and deny the world. I have to deny my own flesh.
Yeah.
And so when I got my discipline right on this end in fitness, it became easier because, like, I've physically seen how denying my desires got me a body I wanted. So I know that denying my desires will get me the relationship that I want with Christ. So I think, and that can apply to anything. Like, my discipline in the gym changed my discipline as an artist. It changed my discipline as an entrepreneur. It changed what kind of wife I am, what kind of sister, mom. Like, well, I'm not a mom. I was thinking about my mom.
I was like, did I miss that?
I was thinking about my mom, and I was gonna say daughter, but it just changes how you show up, I think. Definitely in every area of your life.
Nice. I like that. And do you advocate for supplements? Like,
I do. I think, again, not until you have an understanding of what's already in your body. So we shouldn't be just taking something because people are talking about it. We shouldn't be, we should be going to, if we're taking care of ourselves in the sense that we go to our doctor regularly. I know I'm deficient in vitamin D. I also know that African Americans are statistically more deficient in vitamin D, but I've also been tested myself to know I'm a lot more deficient in it than I thought. I know I'm a little bit more deficient in vitamin B. So, people will, every vitamin has a benefit, so there's someone on some corner of the internet advocating for them all. But a lot of these, you can also overdose on a vitamin, you know.
Can.
Right. And it's like so I think now it's important for us to look into supplementation simply because there's so much that's been done to our food in that industry that a lot of food that we have access to, especially for lower income, has been stripped of its nutrients.
Yes.
So that's why. But as much as possible, you want it to come from your food. So there are a lot of people who jump straight into protein shakes. We don't know what your average daily protein intake is to begin with. So if we can have a good idea of what's already going on, then you know exactly what supplements you need to be putting in your body. I also recommend going vegan on your supplements wherever possible, like vegan protein powders, or just highly, highly researched brands, because supplements with like protein powders, mass gainers, that is an unregulated industry.
Right.
So especially when it comes to mass gainers, they can throw the kitchen sink in there and sell it to you. And there's not a bigger company to say this shouldn't be in there. So we just need to be, I recommend them, but we need to be really careful, really researched, talking to a trainer and a doctor to figure out what to bring into play.
Yes. And also, you mentioned the vitamin D deficiency being so common in the African American community. Vitamin D deficiency is also known to be a contributor to mental drain,
Yes.
depression
The
and
symptoms of it mimic the symptoms of depression.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And we can often go to the wrong practitioner
Yeah.
because we don't know. We just feel bad. We feel sad. We're low energy, all of these things. I have I have been seeking out, and I was somewhere, this has been a couple of years ago. I was somewhere showing a house. It might have been Hampton, it was somewhere down in that area. But there was this clinic that had the body scan. It was like one of those functional doctors that have
Yeah.
all of the, they were holistic practitioners. Do you know of any place that you recommend that practices the holistic functional medication where they're not just prescribing a pill for every ill? They're truly scientists
Mm,
trying to figure out, what exactly is going on in your body.
yeah. I think for me personally, I don't know anyone that does all of it. So I have like I have what I call like my healthcare team.
Mhm.
So it's like I have my chiropractor. I even say like my hairstylist is on my healthcare team, and then I have my doctor, which for me, and I think as Black people, we really, 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 it's annoying. It takes a lot of time. It's frustrating. We really have to like date around to find a primary care physician that makes us feel good. If you feel uncomfortable around them, if you feel like you can't be honest with them, you don't need to be there. And it needs to be the same thing with your trainer. It needs to be the same thing with your therapist, with your dentist. Because I think some of those that do all of them that could like, I don't know that there's a place that you can get all of it from. Like they can do like everything your primary care physician would do and then everything your trainer would do.
Mhm.
Because what I've at least seen is that I have like a little push and pull with some of my clients' primary care physicians because at a doctor's office, their job is to get you a result real quick. They do not trust that if I tell you you need to lose weight, they don't trust that you're going to do the things that you need to do to lose weight. So I'm going to give you a weight loss pill.
Mm.
Or I'm going to prescribe you the lowest calorie count I can because I don't have the time to calculate your actual body fat percentage, your actual activity levels, and a calorie count that makes sense for you. I just know if I give you the lowest one I can, I'm bound to quickly see at least a couple pounds drop and I can check you off out of this danger zone.
Mm.
So, but that's not to say that doctors don't have their place because my trainer couldn't have tested me to see that I was
Mhm.
vitamin D deficient. So I don't know that there's a place that's going to handle everything for you. So that's why
Yeah, so this place,
I team.
these there's a full body scan. It goes to like a cellular level and it
Yeah,
gives you all of your, not that they can treat everything, but
right.
it can tell you everything that's going on. Like I have gone to my primary doctor and gotten my annual physical and still had some things wrong because they weren't checking for, like, they
Mhm.
didn't check everything. They checked the standard panel of tests
Right.
and it made a difference. And I can't remember what was wrong with me that time. But I was having so many issues, but they didn't check for it. So it cost me another few $100s to go back and get another set of tests. I'm like, I know my body, something is wrong.
Right.
So yeah, I'm gonna find, and I don't remember what it's called. I just know that they had that machine, and I've been at a conference before where I talked to somebody. It was a doctor there who was trying to bring more of those machines to the Atlanta area.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah, and it just scans your whole body. It's kind of expensive to get, but if you get that, you get a full report on everything, and it tells you by your, basically by your DNA who you are, what your normal should be on every little thing. I mean, they test so many things. It's like a $500 test.
But it's worth it. I'm
It's
like, I would pay for that. Yeah.
definitely worth it, because going to, man, who's that, LabCorp hit me up for like $900 for some stuff, and I was like, wait a minute, huh? I had bronchitis that time, and I said, I told y'all what I had. I get it about every other year. I knew what it was, but because my doctor sent some swab, they sent me a bill for $890 somebody dollars.
That's crazy.
When I already knew what was wrong with me. Like,
yeah.
So yeah, I'm definitely, I just have to remember the client that I was serving, because I was showing houses down there. The client that I was serving, and then look all the way back through, because I don't delete emails, all the way back through the emails and find that house, because I ran into that clinic going to that house.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find it
and share it. I need to see it.
Hey, Shell Bell. So we are talking to Coach Sade. She is a fitness trainer, behavior change specialist, and we are talking about, all of the things that lend to, or that we need to do for our health and wellness. Shell is a serious basketball mom. Shell, you got any questions, anything that you have dealt with your children? Like her kids, like, are probably gonna be on somebody's ESPN one day. So
okay,
she got some boilers.
Yes.
Boilers. Don't say I didn't tell y'all. You better watch for them. But yes, we're just talking right now. I'm wanting to engage the crowd, get people to understand you can ask questions, you can maybe get an appointment with Sade, Coach Sade. And what is your Instagram, Sade? I want to make sure that people are following you.
Yes, Sade Simone with a Y, Wellness. And the initial consultations are free.
Come on now, we like free.
Yes.
We like free.
Yes.
Y'all. Okay, Sade Simone with the Y Wellness. I watch this. I watch a lot of homesteaders on YouTube, and there's this one couple, and the wife always says Simone with the Y.
Yes.
What I'm talking about.
Because I get all the eyes, I get all types. Well, just being named Sade, I get all types of crazy.
You know you're talking to Corona, right?
Yeah, so it's just.
Yes, I get all the Corona, Karina. One girl was calling me Karuna.
Oh my goodness.
I'm like, you just added a whole nother O in there.
Yeah.
How did you even come up with that? She's like, oh my God, I'm sorry. Yeah, that was like. Okay, I put Sade's Sade Simone with the Y Wellness on Instagram. I want to make sure you all follow up with her, make some appointments. Now, how do you have programming that is set for a certain amount of weeks, or how does that like a template? I know it'll vary, but what is your do you have a standard template that you start with?
So typically my first one is anywhere between like 4 to 6 weeks as your standard beginners program. And it's going to be based off of, so we're going to talk in the consultation about time commitment in terms of what you naturally have to give right now. In the beginning, we're not talking about like carving out extra time. We're talking about what days are we watching TV? Like what are days where we've got like just extra space that we can work with. And let's say they for sure have 4, let's say they for sure have 3, I go ahead and build a program based off of how much time commitment you have to give right now. And it's also going to be based off of talking about what you have access to right now. For some people, They're not ready to commit to a gym membership. So we go with body weight exercises that you can do from home, or I'll put in the notes like, this is a good exercise to go grab a detergent bottle as an extra weight, like showing you how to work with what you've got versus if you have a whole gym membership or an apartment gym, then we'll work with the equipment that's in there. But yeah, that's how we initially start off.
Okay. Okay. And talk about your online program, because you can work with people from anywhere in the world.
Yes, yes. So I have two different options when it comes to the online. So the first option is for the people who are a little bit more independent in their journey. Like let's say you already know you can get yourself to the gym, you're eating pretty well, but at this point you've either plateaued or you're ready to kind of take it to that next level. So I have that option where I would just write out the entire program for you, where every exercise will come with a demo video. Every exercise comes with form notes. I even tell you like how long you should rest in between your exercises, full plan, you know exactly what to do in the gym. I ship it over to you. I said that it's emailed, but I get it over to you and you just kind of vibe out. You do your thing. And then I check in to make sure you're on track. Versus my second option is for people who need a little bit more attention. They might be newer or they might have hit a plateau and they're like, you know what, I can afford to have you hold my hand and be a lot more accountable. So that's what I'm going to go for. That option you would get on my app. You would get an invite link to my app. You're going to when you log into that app every day, it tells you what days this week you have a workout. You get to preview your workouts ahead of time to already know what areas of the gym you're going to be in, things like that. There's an area in my app where you can do food journals. So you're either typing out your foods or you're sending me your screenshots from your tracking app every day. And I text you every single day of the week outside of Saturday to talk about what specifically we are looking for. Like today's focus needs to be this. Hey, I don't see your food log yesterday. What happened? Why didn't we hit that workout on Wednesday? You can send me videos of your
quick accountability.
Right. So it's like if you need more of that attention to be able to ask me questions all throughout the day, that option is a little bit more attentive.
Nice. And are they kind of prescribed length of time as well, or just totally customized? Is that one?
Length of time as far as like how long the workout is or how
long?
No,
like 6 weeks or is it a 90-day plan? Like, are those the more attentive one? Is that kind of set up, or you just customize it based on each client?
That one is typically month to month, and I do 10% off when people buy 2 or more months at a time. So because typically statistics show like most times in that first month and even that second month, we're not really going to see as huge results as we think. That third month is where things really, really start shifting. Because we got to think that first month, we're not really following the plan the whole way. There's lots of slip ups. There's lots of, oh, I thought I was tracking this, but actually when I put it on a scale, it was 50, there's all that space where compliance hasn't lined up with the new plan just yet. That third month is where we really start seeing it, because now we actually have been doing this consistently for weeks because we needed that buffer to learn how to do it. And now we've been doing it consistently. So yeah, we usually go month to month, kind of seeing how they're feeling.
Nice.
And if we hit it where this compliance has been looking great and you can go more independent, then it's like now that way you have that. It's only month to month. So now you can step off and you go, you know what? I want to go with that cheaper option where you just write it for me and I do it myself. And then I've also had clients who are like, I'm ready for the independent plan. They go do it for a month. They're like, girl, I ain't worked out since the last time you asked me if I worked out. And so now they get back on the more attentive plan. So we bounce back and forth based on what you need at different points in your life.
Okay. Now the group offerings, are those in person or virtual or?
So with the group fitness, I'm teaching at Orange Theory.
Okay.
So that's where I do my group fitness classes. And there's a couple different class options that we do there. So there's like a 2 group class option where one group you start off on the treadmill, you spend half your time over there, the other half you spend on the weight floor. We have a 3 group option where you do a third on the tread, a third of your time on the rower, a third of your time on the weight floor. And then we have one more class option that's like a 2-in-1 where it's called a strength tread 50. So you either pick the tread or the weight floor and you spend the whole class over there.
Okay. So that's the one in I'm looking at it now. It's in Midtown.
I'm at the one in Inman Park, but there are several. There's a lot of locations.
Now, Mableton. Okay.
Yeah, Atlanta has a lot of them.
I've never heard of Orange Theory.
Yes, they're fun. It's a fun time. I take the classes myself too. It's a good time.
Okay. Okay. And what days are you teaching at Orange Theory?
I'm doing Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays.
Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah, they got Smyrna. Okay.
Yeah, lots of options. Lots of options.
Nice. Well, I am so very excited. I see Kenny Smith said great info. I'm so very excited that we finally linked up and got you on here. I'm feeling so much more empowered to take some steps necessary to maintain good health. One thing before I let you go that I want to make sure I talk about, because people like myself, there's a bunch of us on here. Once you hit a certain age, you tend to start. And the biggest challenge for me is my brain hasn't caught up to my body. I'm still that young athlete. I can do anything and everything.
Right?
I'm a whole grandma in these streets. So, what is something that you recommend for a person who's getting up in age, may have some, ailments? We talked about the chronic pain, but how can you sustain, first of all, establish if you've been off track for a while, and then sustain a good fitness and wellness routine?
Right. I always say we have to get back to the basics. So every movement that we do breaks down into one of 6 basic movement patterns, and you just progress to harder variations of them as you go. So like, for example, even now, it hasn't been with my age, but I used to put the bar on my back and do over my body weight in squats. But my scoliosis has progressed to where it doesn't make sense anymore. I could do it, but I'm going to be in pain from it. So now I'm going to do a super heavy goblet squat with the dumbbell. So it's like, you're not going to be able to jump right back into the version of a lunge that you've always been doing, the version of a squat that you've always been doing. But to get back to those basic movement patterns, like we said before, if it's chronic pain that's getting in the way, we need to bring a professional in so we can get very specific about what's causing the pain. But just getting back to those basics and understanding that while, yes, there is a natural deterioration of the body as we age, we all know that, like that science that we can't avoid. There is a difference in the natural deterioration of someone who is 50 years old and has been working out for 40 years and someone who is 50 years old and hasn't worked out in 40 years. There's a difference in how those 2 people are aging. So the quicker we can get back on the horse, the quicker, like we said, we might not get back to the same things that we were doing, but the quicker we can get back into it, that is the longer we're going to be able to build consistency. Therefore, the longer our life and the healthier and more active our life is going to be.
Yes. Quality of life.
Exactly. Because it's like, we're all going to be 60, but some of us are going to be 60 and have sat on have not built muscle in 30 years. And some of us are going to be 60 and are still nurturing the muscle that we built 30 years ago. That's way different, how it feels walking around.
Yeah. Yeah. I tell you, man, I fell last week.
Oh no. My mom, I can't remember how long it was, But I remember her telling me she fell one time and then to top it off into a bush. But she said that all she could do was think, what am I doing falling at this age? She was like, I'm too grown to be on the floor. I said, Mom, we just got to get back up. I don't know. We just got to get back up.
So my fall was goofy. Like, I'm in here in my little studio and I got these lights and I tripped over one of the tripod legs.
Oh no.
After I got off live one night last week and I hit that floor hard.
At least it was when you got off.
You see, I don't move. I'm sitting here.
Just in case.
But, and on that note, one thing that I am so excited and proud about, I've been sitting here like Indian style the whole time. I couldn't do that like not so long ago.
Yes.
I could not do. I'm just sitting here thinking like I have had my legs crossed the entire time.
Yeah.
My feet and legs would fall asleep. I don't know if it was purely circulation. I don't know, but I couldn't do that. So I'm excited about that. I'm gonna make these people work me out, stretch me out this weekend at this stretch place. But that was a side note. Yes, I fell, and I did hit my hip, and I have like some very obvious like misalignment. That's the word I was saying. Misalignment. So that's how I ended up with the stretch place, because I'm going to go there first and then I'm going to the chiropractor so I can get all the things and all the
my chiropractor.
I might need that referral, sis.
Yes.
Ooh, yeah, my body, and I'm a carpenter by trade. So for many years I worked heavy, hard work and I beat my body up. So the aches.
Yeah, lots of wear and tear.
A lot of wear and tear. And I remember when I first started working bridges, they would tell me, yep, you see that old Joe over there? That's how you're going to look if you stay out here for 20 years.
No, I told my client, if you do like factory work, or even my clients who are like, I load boxes on and off an Amazon truck, I said, your job is a workout. You need to be warming up before work and you need to be cooling down after. And that's just how some people's job is. You just gonna have to, you got to warm up for work. So that's what I make them do.
Oh, sure. She said she missed the response for putting on weight.
Yeah. Right. Making sure you're eating enough. Cause a lot of my weight loss clients, I found or weight gain clients, sorry. I found a lot of them are like skipping meals. They're eating like they get so busy and have realized they're only eating once or twice a day. So trying to get in 3 meals a day, starting with that, making sure the focus of those meals start off with your carbs, then go to your proteins. And then if you are in the gym, weight training is the priority. Of course, that's pretty much 90% of our goals. Weight training is the priority. Cardio is your side dish. It's not the bigger focus.
I have always done it backwards. I've always focused on cardio because I am naturally more bulky and I didn't want to be.
Right.
So I never focus on weight gain or weight lifting.
Yeah. So, and the reason why, so of course, when you're trying to gain weight, or for both, the issue is that when we're doing cardio, we're just burning things, fat, muscle, we're just burning. When we are lifting weights, we are building muscle, which is going to burn fat for us, even after we're leaving the gym
workout. Yeah.
Right. Which I think even with weight gain clients, because with weight gain clients, it's always this delicate balance of putting on weight and making sure it's the good kind of weight. We're trying to make sure we're putting it on and it's not just getting bigger to get bigger, but as we're putting it on, we're shaping it and it's looking good and it's majority muscle mass versus it being fat. Because it's like I have a client who's, I want to say, what did she start at with me? I want to say, I would have to pull up her file, but I want to say around 99 to 100. And we are getting around Yeah. And we're around 120 now. And so, and in that, out of that, her body fat percentage only went up about 1.3%.
Nice.
So, big majority of that is all muscle. So
Yeah.
it's a little balanced because of course anyone could like Whopper Junior their way into weight gain, but like we want to do it as healthy as
You're
possible.
gonna gain weight, but you're gonna clog your arteries. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so she is over 70 also. So that's an issue. You probably just gonna look like that the rest of your life, Slim Goody. So that's my mama.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, I am so happy that you were able to come on. Are
Yes, thank you
there
for having
Can you
me.
tell the people where they can find you, follow you, and support you again, and how to make an appointment with you? Ladies and gentlemen, she said a free initial consultation. So you have
In
zero
this economy.
in this economy. And I'm telling you, I've gone through it. She is very thorough and comprehensive. So how
Yes.
can the people follow you and find you?
So you can go my Instagram at Sade Simone Wellness. It's in the chat or in the comments. I hope they can see that on their end. So that's my fitness Instagram. You can send me a DM there. And then also you can go directly to my email, trainer Sade, the letter C at gmail.com.
Hey, okay. Well,
Yeah,
I
send
am
me an
so
email.
very thankful that you have taken your time, that you have joined us here on the 30 Days of IOE Challenge, contributing to the health, wealth, and relationships of our people.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me.
Yes. Any final words in parting?
Um, After this challenge is over, if you guys don't know where else to start, literally, if you've been getting on every day at 7, then at least say, moving forward, every day at 7, I'm going to do something for me. If you're like, I don't know how to carry this on after she is done, at least do that. Every day at 7,
Hey,
something for you to keep committing because you know this time works for you. You've been logging on.
that's good. Listen,
Keep it going. The bubble.
that's good. That's good. I didn't even think of that. So you have no excuse. If you've been tuning in every night at 7, you should definitely keep this time slot and slide that workout in there.
Exactly.
Right. Oh my goodness. That was great. Thank you so much,
Yes.
Sade.
Thank you. Y'all have a great night.
All right. Bye.